Hey everybody, and welcome to a very quick tour of PLATO. PLATO, if you're not familiar, so basically this video is going to be from the perspective of somebody who has not really taken a summer class before, or an online class for that matter. But even so, if you have taken an online class before, I'm going to walk you through where to find everything, so it may be very useful to watch this anyways. We're going to start with my Play-Doh. At the very beginning right here, you'll see this sensation of perception. You'll click on that, obviously, and it will take you to this splash page where you're going to find the announcements. And so here in the announcements, you'll see there's not really anything found yet because the semester hasn't began yet. So um, by the time you get here, you'll actually see the first announcement that I've made about this video. Uh, so uh, Usually I'm going to try to keep it to 1 or 2 announcements per week. I do that because I feel like it's way more simple to do it that way, to give you a very systematic routine announcement, usually one at the very beginning of every week to let you know what to expect, what to look for. Sometimes I'll also send out announcements at the end of the week to remind you about what to do. Um, so you can find those things here. That's the first thing you'll see. Up here in the left-hand corner, you're going to find a lot of the kind of housekeeping types of things. So announcements, the contact me page, which has a couple of things you may be interested in, such as my contact information. There's a virtual office you can go to if you click right there. And let's see, it'll just load for a moment. Um, so basically, you can type in your name, you can join a session, and it's a virtual office. That way you and I can meet one-on-one. You can type if you want to. You can put in a headset if you want to. Or you can basically Skype. You can turn on your video, your webcam, and we can talk face-to-face. Whatever you want to do. We can do that in there. If you don't want to just rely on email or something like that. So you can do all that there. The Ask Alex Anything, a lot of instructors use these. Basically, it's a spot where you can create and ask me a question that the rest of the class can see. So you can do that there. The suggestion box, that is basically a anonymous Google form that you can do to leave me any kind of feedback, anything that's on that you're thinking about, you can leave it there. The messaging tool, this is where you can leave me a message through Play-Doh. So you can create a message and send it through here, kind of like an internal email. I don't always recommend these all that well because I feel like it's not super organized. I don't get these notifications on my phone. Play-Doh doesn't, or actually our university doesn't allow us to do it that way. So usually I recommend email if you want to get in contact with me, but this works too. And this is private, so nobody else can see it. The course calendar, moving back over here to the left, the course calendar, you can see right over here. You'll also find this in the back of your syllabus. It lets you know what the week is, and then when that week starts, and what is going to be due by the end of Sunday. So you'll see for chapter 1, there's nothing due, because I know all of us we're getting used to the rhythm of things. We're still getting our textbooks and things like that. Our first things that are going to be due at the end of the second week. So chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4, those quizzes and discussions are going to be due along with the exam. So let's take a look at what chapter 1 is, since that is something that is due. So over here on the left again, you'll see chapter 1. Actually, let me kick this over to student preview, so that way this is exactly what you should see right now. So here, this should look much more like what you have. Chapter 1, Intro to S&P. And so here, you're going to find, this is going to become very familiar to you, because this is the general flow of how every single chapter is organized, because I try to make everything predictable. I try to make everything basically exactly what you expect. So that way there's just to try to minimize confusion. So what we have up here, this nice little banner that I made. But then you'll see a quiz and a discussion. Usually I recommend going through all of this information and then coming back up to the top and then taking the quiz and the discussion. The order of that doesn't actually matter. It's up to you. So Chapter 1 quiz, that is a quiz that is an hour long, and you'll see it's all multiple choice. And so basically I give you an hour so that way if you want to, you can have your book in front of you and you can double check your answers. The whole goal of the quizzes are basically just to get you engaged with the readings, so that way you're kind of thinking about them really before the exam or before you even have to hit the study guide. Because I know a lot of times people wait till the very end before the quiz, before the exam to open up the book. So the Chapter 1 quiz is there. Chapter 1 discussion, in this case, is going to be very simple. You're just answering some questions about yourself. Other times they're going to be where you have to watch a video or where you have to do some kind of perceptual test or something like that. And so you'll do that. You'll click it, get to it. You're not going to be able to see anybody else's posts until you post your own. And then you have to reply to one other person, and that's it. As you're learning about this material, you'll find the slides. So basically all the slides that I operate from, and then these videos that I've made to walk through the chapter. And in most cases, I try to stay kind of close to the chapter material, so that way you're reading it, and then you're seeing the video for it. But then there are some things that I think that are important that the book doesn't touch on, and so you'll see videos for that information as well. So basically, it's kind of like a one-on-one lecture in a way, where I'm just basically telling you things about the book. I feel like in past semesters, people haven't really looked at the videos, but I find that honestly, like, the things that I stress in the videos are generally the things that I put on the exam, and so I think these are good things to watch throughout the week, and then at the end of the week before you take the exam, maybe just sit down with some popcorn and watch them all through one more time. And that's all Chapter 1. And Chapter 2 is exactly the same. You got your quiz, you got your discussion, you got your slides, and you got your videos. And so they're all going to be formatted this way. I want to draw your attention to a couple more things. The Start Here button, this is going to take you to where you can find this video, but also where you can find some important documents, such as the course syllabus. I've already sent out a copy of that through the university email, but if you want the final draft of it, you can find it there. The discussion rubric, which tells you exactly what you need in order to make a 100 on the discussion. So, for example, and this will look a lot like my cognitive psychology rubric if you've taken cognitive psychology with me before. Basically, you get a 10 out of 10 if you go above and beyond. You get a 9 out of 10 if it seems like you put in a good faith effort. You get 8 out of 10 if you participate in discussion and your response to another student is pretty surface level. And so that's going to be what I use to grade your discussions with. The research assignment rubric is also very important. Those research assignments you can find. Basically, I'm going to be asking that you are going to summarize the material, but also answer certain questions. And so let's take a look at that here. In case you didn't see where I went down to the bottom. You'll see exams, research articles, and extra credit. If you hit research articles, then you'll see there are 4 different research articles. These are going to be due before each exam. And so for exam number 1, we have this article, which is about, this one is about how single neurons are able to represent certain visual memories. And that is as simplified as I can make it for you, because it is a little bit complicated, but it is something that the book also talks about. So this is an article that you are going to read about in your textbook, and here we're going to go into a little bit more detail about it here. But you'll see that for this research article, I'm asking you questions that I want you to answer. and you get to pick 3 of these questions to answer in about 500 words. And so if you want to, you can just, all right, so just for example, question number 1, what is the independent variable, the dependent variable in this article? How do they manipulate the IV and record the DV? And so if you want to, you could just say the independent variable is this, the dependent variable is this. They manipulated the independent variable by doing this. If you keep it very short, that's fine. But usually when people do really well on these is because they take time to unpack these ideas and to explain what the independent variable is, why it's important, what different levels there are of it, and things like that. So usually the more in-depth you get with it, the more thoughtful you get with it, the better a grade you're going to get, instead of if you just answer these things in 1 or 2 sentences. So that's the first research article. You can submit this. You can put it on as an attachment and then submit it if you like. So that's over here with research articles. The other thing is going to be the exams, and the exams is going to be where you find all of our exams. And so here you can already find exam number 1, which is chapters 1 through 4, and you can find the study guides for all of those exams right there. And that's pretty much all you need to know with PLATO, because like I said, I try to keep it very predictable in its kind of presentation and format. But if you have any questions, you know where to email me, right? And if you don't, you can click up here to contact me, and you can find my email right there. So I think that's pretty much it. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm super happy to explain anything that I didn't do a good job explaining here, and I will see you in the discussion forum. Bye.